So welcome to the old burying ground here in downtown Victoria, and this is where I've brought my team today. Now you'll find it nestled to the side of Christchurch Cathedral on Pioneer Square, and it was used from 1855 to 1873, and it was the main burying ground for Fort Victoria and Victoria. So prior to 1855, the residents of the fort and surrounding farms had used the Fort Victoria graveyard for burying their dead. And this was a small site on the banks of the Johnson Street ravine. And this is the corner of Douglas and Johnson Street and where they are today. Now there are 1,300 people buried here, from historical figures who were at the forefront of colonisation to poor and ordinary folk. So people like John S. Helmken, James Murray Yale, John Work, Charles Ross, Chief Justice David Cameron, all rich and powerful men of the city. But also amongst those interred here are ordinary people like Paul Madonna, who was an Italian merchant, a former black slave, Hannah Estes, a poor Irish woman, Joanne Maguire, and a Welsh riverboat captain called Thomas Pritchard. Now, due to vandalism and the inclement weather like today, many of the gravestones have been removed and they're in safekeeping in storage, and they leave the graves themselves unmarked. But as for ghost sightings, well, there are 3 different entities that have been seen here. So 2 are female apparitions, one who is believed to be Adelaide Griffin, and also a dark-haired woman in a white dress. Then there is the ghost of who is believed to be Robert Johnson, who is said to have committed suicide by slitting his own throat. Now, he's usually seen standing in front of somebody with a barber's blade in his hand, making motions as if he's cutting his throat. So join us as we investigate the old burial ground.
When I first entered the Pioneer Square, Matilda and I were aware of a strong scent of cigarettes, although there was no one around. So we really had the feeling that there may have been someone who passed away who came here and smoked heavily, perhaps on a park bench. So we're hoping that perhaps he'll communicate with us through one of our devices as the day goes on.
Is there anybody here? Can you talk to us? Are you the smoking person? Yes? Are you buried here? Can you tell me your name? My name's Dawn. Can you tell us where we need to go to find you? Is that working then? Well, let's use that one then, because it's better. I like it better. Can you talk to Dawn? And this is Diana. That sounded like hello.
Yes, it did. I'm going to turn it up. Can't hear you very well, okay? Do you want to say hi to us? Can you see us? You smell cigarette smoke. Is that you? It's okay, don't be scared. I know there are people around. It did smell like her. It did smell like her. We totally smelled. Diana and I were standing here, we smelled this smell. So I think that was you. Did you used to sit on a bench? Or maybe you're one of the regiments. It's really so small in there. I'm going to walk. Should we walk with you? You tell me when to stop. We want to speak with you. Okay, shut up, sir. Come on. How long ago were you here? Do you remember being alive? It's amazing.
I think it was young.
Are you a young person?
Yeah, it's adorable. Look at that.
Oh, it's a lovely one. Look, with clover all around it.
It's beautiful.
It is. I'm going to take a picture
Can we
of that.
find a four-leaf clover?
Look at the clover. Who guards this fairy door? I can hear voice in there. Who guards this fairy door? You hear us? Help me. Is that my imagination?
Who's here?
Who's here?
You can hear little voices in the background.
Come on. I just handed it to you. Come.
We just heard a phrase, and it was a woman's voice, but it was too faint to make out. Can you come closer to this black box and speak very loudly and clearly? It will help us hear you. I heard something. My name is Diana and this is Zoe. What's your name? It's like a conversation,
Yeah.
but it's in the background.
It's very faint.
We'd like to hear you better. Are we intruding? Let's keep walking. If there's any significant spot, just tell us to stop and we will. Here's one of the Rosses. I did know there was a tie to this cemetery too. So he passed away in 1844, which was before Ross Bay Cemetery was opened. There's a few surviving monuments. I don't know where the Wallace one is.
Oh, I don't know.
If anybody can hear us or see us, please speak up. You come with respect. the beautiful park here in the middle of the city. Are you passing through, or do you stay here all the time? Trying to talk to us. I'll just put it closer here because of the rain. We can hear you. I'm sorry we can't make out too well what you're saying. Can you tell us your name? Unfortunately, the rain is making it a little harder to hear. Hello? That was a whole phrase. Yeah. I can hear you. You're not an old man. I love the Victorian, the narrow headstones. That was so pretty. It just can't stand the test of time. Yeah. They fall over and break. That one.
So Matilda, out of her peripheral vision, saw somebody sitting on this bench, but as you can see, there's nobody sitting there. So we're going to try and do a ghost box session here to see whether or not we can get some conversation. I feel you're really close to me. I feel your energy. You seem to be walking alongside me, with me. If you speak, I might be able to hear your voice on this recording equipment. So I'm here in Pioneer Square. I've just been taking some footage of some of the grave sites, and I really feel the presence of a man with me, walking very close beside me. I would say he's probably in his 50s, very gentle and kind, certainly not anything negative or to be afraid of, very curious as to what we're doing here, and yeah, I'm trying to encourage some communication and conversation with him. Are you here? Is this who you are? I have a recording device with me. So you're here. Can you tell me your name? Are you connected with any of these tombs? Are you buried here? I know you're very interested in what we're doing. You're welcome to come and walk alongside me. But I would love to hear your voice on some of this equipment. Wow, that's quite the monument. Somebody important. Or maybe it's the Navy grave marker. I'm not quite sure. It's quite magnificent, and it's nice the sun's come out. Lovely little cherub on the top. So it's 2021. It's the year 2021. What year do you last remember? I bet you can see it looking very different from your day when you were alive. Was that who we smelt the cigarette smoke of? Was that you? Did you smoke? I feel him so strongly by me, walking beside me, very quiet. I don't know if I'm going to catch any sounds on any of the equipment. I'll have to listen back later in review. But he is so strong here. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice. I can feel you. Are you Charles Ross? If you are, use your voice. Tell us who you are. I feel really dizzy as I'm standing by this grave site. Really lightheaded. I'm hoping that I capture something. I don't know whether it's Charles Ross who was walking with me, but I feel so lightheaded here. I think we might try and do a ghost box here and see if we can capture anything. So, Mr. Ross, if that was you, Charles Ross, we definitely feel a lot of energy here. You can come and talk to us. Maybe you are here in seagull form.
That's what I think. Mr. Ross, is that you? What's that?
Sounds like a baby. If you're here, you can light the lights up on this device, or you could talk. I really feel your energy strongly here. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's you, but I feel energy strongly here.
Let's give it a try
We're here with respect for you and your position.
Yes.
We're not trying to rouse you from any peace, but if this was you that was walking with me, can you make yourself known? Buried here under this lovely tree. You can hear Diana and Zoe in the background doing a ghost box session. This isn't a large cemetery, not like Ross Bay. It's quite small, but it definitely feels like there's a lot of energy here. So this box here, there's definitely somebody here. This box here, if you come close to it, you may be able to make the lights light up like this.
Okay. Light it up.
Can you light it up for us? Can you make yourself known another way? Come close to us. Can you talk to us? You feel your energy here. If this is Mr. Ross, can you say your name? My name is Dawn Kirkham, and I live in Victoria. It's 2021. When was it that you were alive? Can you tell me the year that you last remember? Can you hear me? Can you see us? Can you hear us or just see us?
So this is scrying in the puddles. Can you show us your face? It's often fun to do this with puddles because you can see everything upside down, of course, and backwards. So you sometimes can get really good imagery. There's no one around us at the minute. Slightly raining, which distorts the image for a brief second.
Which is good.
Which is good, so when we play it back, we might see something that will give us an indication of what else is here. Because of course, if you're going into water, you're going into another world.
Show us your face, if you don't mind. And I can review this frame by frame.
That would be perfect.
If you're here, use the raindrops, those little drops, those distortions to show us your face.
So just 1 minute of footage and we'll review it. Look at all, it's good. You're really with us, aren't you? Just in case we have some food.
It's like, what have you got in your backpack, lady?
I've got nothing to give you, otherwise I would. There's a lot of smokes here. Worms? It really does look like lips.
You've got lips
It
on
bloody
the
does,
tree.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Actually, if you stand here as well, I don't know, there's something about the angle
That would
that
freak
makes
me
it
out.
stand out. That is odd, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember the Muppets? Manamana.
It's funny because I did not see that until this
Grass that was taken out.
Zoe, how was your experience at the Pioneer Cemetery, the old burying ground?
Well, it's a really interesting place. There's a lot of energy here. We had some things come through on the voice box, which was great fun. There was a child like energy that came through, and also a gentleman. I think it'll be really interesting to hear what we can hear when we get it back and listen to it on the computer. But it's
Excellent.
a great place. I love it.
It's a little gem, isn't it?
It is.
What about you, Di?
It was a very wet morning.
The things we do for people.
Exciting, smelling that cigarette smoke when no one was around, and there's no other explanation for that at the beginning. That was really interesting. And we did ask the man to come forward, and we were hearing a male voice through the spirit box. He was answering our questions. Unfortunately, we couldn't make out what he was saying, but perhaps we'll be able to when we analyze the tapes and the recordings. So yes, very, very busy. We seem to be hearing people talking, so perhaps we were interrupting them. We heard voices in the background, we heard a child playing, and a woman. So there seem to be any number of spirits here. It would be great to come back and try again and see what we can pick up.
So that's a wrap, everybody. That's part 2 of episode 1 of Victoria Haunts, and this was the old cemeteries episode. Maybe more old cemeteries coming in the future, but do like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Ta-ta!